Traders, welcome back to TradeGateHub.com. We're sponsored by TradeView Markets. Check them out. You could trade everything with them. Some of the best spreads on the street if you're outside the U.S. Before I get to Mike, and Mike's with me today for our normal Tuesday macro
Good morning,
look
everyone.
out in the market. How you doing today, Mike? So to me, what's important is what's happening in U.S. dollar yen. If you recall last week, while the yen was marching up, I was talking about higher yields, and that was going to be behind what would take gold down to the levels it was at yesterday, and silver as well. So here you see the 10-year yield coming off with the yen. They're pretty tightly correlated. So I think what's happening here is a lot of people trying to front run Paul on Friday because he's going to be a hawk. And that didn't work out so well for them. So I put out shorts recommendations last night in our main trading room in U.S. dollar yen, 100 higher and 100 higher in USD CAD. Put out this short too because they were the weakest in the dollar. Just want to show you how gold yesterday. I know, Mike, you bought some junior miners in the golds yesterday, and I posted this in the room that we had a retest of
that was my confirmation. Excuse me.
Okay, yeah, 61.8 right here said you could buy it with stops under this low in here, and now we're trading back over 1750. Silver was a little weaker this morning, but pretty good follow through. Gold silver ratio, I'd like to see it move lower. But the importance of the yen is if you're a precious metal bull, you want to see this become not just a one-day wonder, but potentially an important failing rally in the yen, which means yields will drop. And why can't we see the yen do something like this from here, which would take out the recent low in the yen and the recent low in yields?
Coach, let me ask you something. Would you consider that what was the reason for as you know, I've been in and out. What was the reason for the rally to begin with?
Yields coming off.
That's
the rally in the market.
Yeah. No. No. The rally in the market. No. In this. Yeah. In the dollar yen.
Okay. Yen, U.S. dollar yen is tightly correlated with yields as yields go up. So here's your 10-year, and this is a daily chart. So you could see the similarities. Yields went up. Yen went up. Yen's turning down. Yields turning down.
Right. Okay.
Okay, just a correlation. I mean, there's probably someone better qualified to explain the fundamentals behind it.
No. I just and you picked those two pairs because why? They had the best range and.
Well, I shorted CAD and yen because they were making lower highs.
Right.
Okay, while euro was making lower lows. One thing I will say about the euro, and I pointed this out earlier, is there is a difference between this low and this low, lower low. And the difference is down here, we were confirming the low.
Right.
Here on the daily, we're diverging at the low. We did not confirm it. And there's also something else, Mike, when it comes to all the dollar bullishness right here. You have the largest net short position in the euro since February of 2020. This is this is February of 2020. It was March, really, where we got the low. But look at the rally that ensued from this type of offside positioning. So be careful with your euro shorts. My bet is, I put it out yesterday, everyone talking 95 in the euro, including Gerard. My bet is the next 500 pips in euro is to the upside and not to the downside. So I want to get to the S&Ps, Mike, because, you know, we had this rollover last week and all the bears are coming out of the closet again. To me, it looked a little bit too pat. Of course, I was looking for a correction from here. I tried it a few times. I got stopped out by, you know, just inches, but I did. And the big question now is, you know, you have people like Katie Stockton saying, you know, we're going to test the lows.
You know, I did watch that. I watched.
Did you see her?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I interview her. I think I'll bring her on. And
that's incredible.
Yeah. So anyway, the big question is,
All right.
This rally that we diagnosed up here that I thought was going to terminate around 42, which is still a pretty good call.
No question.
Is this just going to be consolidation, and it may not be over? We could go to 4,000 and just kind of consolidate the gains we've had so far this summer, or is this a resumption of the bear market, and why?
Okay, I appreciate that. And I'll go to share my screen if I may.
Yeah.
Can you hook me on there, Coach? Or can I share my screen right here?
Yep.
I'm on.
Take over control of the TV like the Outer Limits.
All right. Well, this is the thing. Okay. I appreciate that. That was funny. All right. So here's a general look. Here's the daily on the SPY. Certainly. All right. I can answer the question in a variety of ways. If the lows have been put in, if this is a necessary a necessary pullback or a healthy pullback, if you will.
Okay.
Okay. So what's going on in currently is you have stocks which normally would not be positive. Energy going up like this wouldn't be great news for the market. I mean, with Oxy making new highs and some of these oil stocks like Chevron and Exxon popping back up.
Yeah, we've had a big move in WTI up 3 today, did not make a new low yesterday. That also, Canada's a big energy exporter. So stronger oil prices is normally negative USD CAD.
My Lord.
Correlation. But
I'm going to tell you, you're hot today, Coach. I'm not placated.
The oils are stars. I don't think it's a one-day wonder either.
No, I don't know. Like I said, you want to go to the macro part of things. No, I think this is early on. And I think I am qualified to give an opinion, even though my trading is more, interim, if you will. But definitely still early in the cycle for basically, unless conditions change dramatically, this is a hangover that's going to be, it's not going to be just like all these charts. And for example, let's look at a Walmart. Things that stocks like Walmart that have these type of moves, and I'll go to it even a weekly. These are scars, and there's still scars to heal. The reason why the market went up, and is the very reason why you mentioned one of your pairs this morning, is because of not because I thought fundamentals were all these stocks that reported. I didn't think the bad news was already priced in, and that was it. Just like how there's some residual effects from Walmart, there's going to be some residual effects from the tech stocks. And with the 20% rally with the NASDAQ off the bottom, some stocks showed a good hand. Like, that's a Microsoft leak. Let's go to Microsoft Daily. Like Microsoft, certainly Apple was the leader, but other stocks that propelled this NASDAQ move, I think, was a lot of the short covering. And the consistent theme that you and I have been having about, no one will argue in the room, certainly. And I'm not necessarily saying it's a way to, to balance your portfolio, but a stock that Shopify was one of the heavily shorted stocks, and it looked like it was going to, look like people had its way, and it was above all the 20-day was a little heavy. The moving average was curling up. The stock went from 46 to 32, and it looks like it's, I'm not even looking. I looked at it then. I wouldn't look at it now. So that tells me the chart makes it. I'm trying to go out longer term. Another stock like an Asan that went from 30 to 20. I mean, that went what's that? 30%.
Yeah.
So that gave it all back within the short squeeze. So what I'm noting for long, short, and medium term is what the best of breeds are. Stocks like ON Semiconductor held up well in this. Other stocks didn't hold up well, like what did Roblox do? Roblox had its bounce up to the 200-day, went from 53 to 41, but that's a week and a half. 53 to 41, you think you're in the clear to a degree, is a big move. I'm even, so anything that I'm doing, if I'm catching your, I hope I'm answering your question, at least in a roundabout way, is more than ever, is I took more aggressive chances predicated upon a short squeeze. I think those parameters are why I was bullish, and I like your opinion, certainly, is because of the short. I didn't think it was peak inflation. I thought it was maybe peak talk inflation.
Because it was all positioning.
No, I think, I guess you can, it's an amalgamation of what I just put right into that one word. Correct. It was positioning. People were offsides. I still think they're offsides to a touch, but if they're offsides, I think they're offsides in Apple. Nobody thinks they're going to be offsides now. If a stock like Shopify or Roblox had that move, and now they thought, they don't think they missed it. I mean, stocks like this, you want a lot more confirmation, because then A, they're not best of breeds, and B, they're technically even broken through the breeds below every moving average. I'm just using this as an example.
And it looks like Roblox failed against a 200-day, just like the S&Ps did.
Well, I'll tell you, a stock that we had that's in the fund, and actually not in the fund anymore. Had a stock like Team that was acting good when the Nasdaq was going down here. Then it propelled higher with good news range and good price action from 251 to 300. Now it's got, what is that? Now it's got come down to 250. Now I'm not as sure. Here I was sure because of the huge short interest and everything.
Right.
There was a pessimism across the board in ways that we were throwing out numbers never seen. So is this, getting back to your question, the original one, is the summer rally? I don't like the fact that oils are going. Citicorp, by the way, look, I don't care what chart we say. Don't we always say, I don't care if they make widgets? I wouldn't touch that chart. Would you like that chart, Coach, right there? Citibank?
On a pullback to 48, maybe.
Well, certainly no. A pullback from 51 to 48 on Citibank's a big move. That might be 3 to 5% in the market. You know what I mean?
Not today. And there could still be more left on the downside. If you could pull up that Oxy chart, I think it would be instructive. I think it was a daily chart.
This is a daily.
Maybe it was longer term.
Okay, let's go.
Was it the weekly? Could you put the weekly on there?
Maybe there's a weekly.
Okay. All right.
For me, before you even start, it's for a person that's got a thick skin on doing a lot. That's the ultimate compliment for me, is I wouldn't even short it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So go ahead. I didn't mean to.
Anyway, I was going to say it must have been a longer term chart, because it looked like there was going to be that we've already had 2 drives and there was going to be one more left, but I'm not sure. It's not the same chart I'm looking. It looks great. Anyway, I don't see what I did before, but yeah, new highs look good. I'd be taking something at 80 if offered.
Is that so?
Yeah. So anyway, it's it's not the same chart. Okay. All right. Anyway, go back to say, for example,
wow, look at
Crisp. Some of the biotechs, are they pulling back with the market here?
They are pulling back. You know what? They're in the middle of the range, and I'm looking to buy. Listen, I still, okay, great question. For the same reasons why I don't like some of the other sectors, is because this is I like the XBI still, no question about it.
Yeah, it's right back at the breakout level.
It is at the, thank you, bravo, Coach. And NV, let's look at my Nutella. I took profits there. The 2 that I like, the gene therapy. That even Lewis pointed out, that got me out a little bit. So I got out of that especially when I had that break with the red line. CRISPR, same thing. You know what? I would rather buy those with these gene editing stocks coming into a news prone season, if you will, if I talk about seasonality. I would rather buy the XBI than take any position. Just like we're talking about K-Web, when Lewis asked Bob is going to turn, or by the way, and JD did have a bad turn today after numbers. I want to keep an eye on that if I can speak specifically. You know what? JD's all over the place.
Let's take a look at your GDXJ
look at the
juniors that you got long yesterday.
Yes, I did.
They performing at all today?
Yeah. What's that?
They performing?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Okay. I like that higher low.
Yeah.
I think you're going towards 38 or 40 from here.
Wow, that would be great.
Yeah. So it looks like a third wave coming here.
I would like it I would personally, if it'll be integral, I would like it to sit and make a run to 35 and just base around that option, that heavy, it's a heavy option price at GDXJ for a little bit, and then take that. Yeah, no, great. That's the plan. Well, you know what? That's the plan on GDXJ. You got it live.
Okay, looks good. Real nice day. Was a little iffy yesterday, but again, keep an eye on the yen, Mike.
Yes.
U.S. dollar yen. If you're trading any of the precious metals or bonds, it's key.
That's what you first said in the video. That's what your first point in today's video.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at what some of the wise guys are doing. Hold on, let me go to trade.
That looks all right for a pullback. It's just consolidating. I'd buy it. Maybe at 48 or something. It looks okay. What's that, Alcoa?
No, actually, it is Alcoa. I don't know why. You know what? I've been trading. I'm such an old trader that the first metal that besides Phelps Dodge, the first metal or aluminum that comes to mind is Alcoa.
Yeah.
But I should be pulling up at FCX. There you go.
Well,
There's a
when I
daily
was having
FCX.
rough days as a trader, as a commodity trader, I would sell aluminum siding.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Oh well, if I
But
sold a
that
couple
term,
of things. I
yeah,
called the sub. Sold a couple of things, but it wasn't exactly aluminum siding.
anyway, I did have to at one time sell cars, but I would take someone out for a test drive. And instead of talking about the car and how great it was, I'd say to the prospect, have you been paying attention to the gold market? I think there's really going to be a nice move.
You hedge yourself.
I could, it's like Hotel California, man. You could check out, but you can never leave.
No, you can't.
That looks good. And you know what? Copper even held up better than silver and gold. So there's a copper stock for you. So the material stocks look pretty good. Things that you drop on your foot that hurt
Yeah. Let's
look
look at
all right, man.
this SL. You know what's it worth? I'll tell you a good chart. You want to have a part of the hedge portfolio is SLCA.
What do they do?
SLCA is like a construction concrete maker, that type
Okay.
of
Yeah.
situation and the such. But I'm going to tell you seriously, no joke. This SLCA it has the appropriate amount of short interest, if you will. It's in the proper. Look at that. It's in the proper sector.
Yeah.
Over 16, I'd look for it to break out, and it is. It is in that sector where if you drop something on your foot, SLCA makes
and the
commercial.
fourth higher low since 2020, since the COVID low, fourth higher.
Yeah, they make
low.
sand. They make sand. They make stuff into sand. That type of stuff. It's like what I
Okay.
think it's like
I like
VMC, Vulcan Material. How's Vulcan? All right, that's a weekly on Vulcan. Let's look at a daily on Vulcan Material. So that's stuff you drop on your foot too.
Okay.
But I like
all
those.
right.
Let's look at
Looks
John
all
Deere
right.
that had a bad day the other day.
Yeah.
John Deere reversed it. John Deere was down $15 after earnings the other day, and they had a chance to push it down and went from and that was my edification to go into a little Moss and COF. But John Deere was down $15 a couple of days ago, and
they bought that bad earnings report.
There's 350. Well, let me go to a 20 minutes, not stretched out as much as I'd like, but this stock was 350 after earnings the other day, and it had a little volume in it too. And they just said, you know what? We don't care where it's been, and we care where it's going.
That's pretty cool. Red candle, green volume bar.
Yes.
You look for that? I mean, I noticed that. A lot of people, normally you'd see a red volume bar on that, wouldn't you? On a gap down like that?
Yes.
So that was a nice tell.
There was a good tell.
I learned something from you today. I noticed it, but guys, look for that. And you could probably look for the reverse. You have a big up day and it's red, don't trust it. Just like if it's down big and it's green, there's something going on there. It's being accumulated.
That's
really interesting.
No, it is. Well, I guess, it's almost innate at this point. I've been looking at this charts for so long. So
I know.
Yeah.
Do you dream about do you have chart dreams?
No, but when I go to sleep, the occupational hazard after all these years is when I close my eyes, all these lights, it's like Close Encounters, everything is blinking and flashing in front of me.
Yeah.
So I try to time the whiskey when I think I want to fall asleep, and then it just negates. That's my hedge.
Even that's timing, Mike.
No, it is my hedge. I must be laying in bed seeing, but all right, going forward, what's the earnings season is coming to an end. So the few catalysts are coming there, at least to propel best of breeds yet, or going forward. Noted of what stocks acted well and poorly. Example, poorly was a Shopify, Roblox. Good was Microsoft, Apple. Now it's catalysts. Now it's coming back. We obviously go to yesterday's YouTube, or the data might still be on. Everybody's really communicating well. So I can't really go back as much on TradeGate Hub. Hold on to show you all the data from yesterday. But getting back to what I was saying, with earnings, somebody emailed.
Yeah, well, what's the only catalyst? Geo is, Putin gonna blow off a nuke?
You know what? It's getting back to the beginning of the speculation where it's going to be either inflation or probably even a war / oil. So few catalysts. The Fed's always obviously in the background, but until then, listen, like I said, I'm not a guy on seasonality anymore, especially when it comes to trading patterns. Maybe uh, I'll get into another time what I think, but it is the end of August. I have to. I've been in and out. Not to say that I'm providing any liquidity or volume, or I'm not shy. Like I have to take my son away to college, so it's gonna. You know what I mean? Let's we're back into stalking phase. As I said on TGH, go
Okay.
back this morning. No swing trading. You want to take some money out of the market? That's fine. That's what the men have been doing, or the people in the room have been doing. Or what I'm writing down is exactly the homework that I did today's video. What's acted well in the pullback? Now the Nasdaq's pulled back what 5% or something since the 20% high. So now I'm taking note within ranges and everything.
Right.
I don't want to get more than ever, even before. Like I said, and I'll end it with this. When we thought we knew the market had a lot of short interest. I was able to buy more dogs. I'm
Right.
not buying any more dogs now, for the
Okay.
very reason that I think the juice is out of the punch bowl. At least being people off sides, and the short squeeze took a lot of them up, and they took a lot of them right back down. So there's no money left to propel the shorts higher in these small dogs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what sentiment is like when we break through the 200-day moving average, which is so popular and everyone's following, and we're trading 4,500. That's going to be a real interesting zone that I'm paying attention to. But the likelihood is, I still think there's a shot at new all-time highs before we have a big failure.
Well,
I'm still in the bullish camp.
I'm going to tell you something.
Until they take out 3,800, I'm sticking it.
When you take Apple's here, it's a good sign. Like if I were to, look at an X-ray of the market and go through just charts, looking like flipping
Yeah.
them, it's a good sign when Apple has made this move like this, and it's a good sign when Oxy is also making a move like this.
Yeah.
Both
Texan
are
oils.
well, both, and I'll even go to the QQQs to a degree. You know what I mean? When if Oxy was doing if Oxy was making all time, the Nasdaq should be here of where Oxy is doing is in oil, but the Nasdaq had a nice move off the bottom. So I do think it's rotation and positioning. It's not really indices. The indices are obviously in the forefront, but I think there's more underneath than that. That's all.
Mike, I've watched the progress of the traders in our main chat here,
Yeah, what most
and
proud
the
of
way
it.
you're working with them and how they're really beginning to get it. And the mistakes they're making now is just a little bit, it's more of psychology
Correct.
than,
They know what to do.
where they could correct it. It's just creating a new paradigm. But you've really educated the people in our chat room. Really great job you've done with
No, I appreciate that,
people
Coach.
that,
Touche. And here we go right here. Where's the Gerard? Let's see what Gerard said. And then where is G?
he's talking about selling too soon. So I made a suggestion, like, we do, is take partial profits and then tighten up your risk on the trade. When
Here
you
he
feel
is.
like selling it all, don't do it. Just
Right,
sell
Gerard.
half.
I was also in the big FX trade from Coach and sold far too early. Bottom
Yeah.
line, he was in it. We got him involved. He's going to
Yeah.
develop his own style and plan. He
Yeah.
got in it. By the way,
Yeah.
Coach, good call. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, Gerard. It's very hard to be in another trader's call or another
Yeah.
trader's pick. It's not your plan. If you're up in it, you'll take the money.
They're even coming up with their own ideas, Lewis and Gerard, and Joba's
No, he knows
really
what he's doing.
experienced,
Yeah, he's not shy either.
Elliotician. So we invite you to join us here, guys. It's free, and we're not bringing you in so we could upsell you anything.
No, not at
So
all.
TradeGateHub.com is the place for you to become an ace. And what do you want to wrap it with, Mike? That's it. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, you know
That's
what,
good.
everyone? Listen, this is what I'm going to do. And I said no swing trading. And hold on, let me share a screen. For those, it's very simple. You go to stockscanner.com. If that, by the way, my video, I do videos. Everybody should take note of even what's on my, what do they call it thing? A bookmark?
Yeah.
TradeGate Hub, stock screener, bar chart, stocks pre-market articles for the street.com, investing.com, seeking alpha. So you got to take hints. So this is what I do. Let's look up high and relative volume, always number one. So, okay, you have stocks with, well, actually, it's not a lot going on today. Dick's Sporting Goods stores with not that a lot of range. Nerdy's breaking high, never heard of it. PAA, by the way, is the wise guy stock. Macy's had earnings. You should know that. IMPP is a low floater oil. Husa, low floater oil. Indu, low flow. Does it say it here? But it isn't a low floater oil. Now the
Oil.
Okay, now down on high relative volume, not what you want to see. Look at these guys. Zoom,
Yeah.
XPEV, Twitter,
Yeah.
uh,
All the
Nio,
old. Yeah.
Medtronic. I don't even like the Baba. I don't even like seeing Medtronic on there because that's in medical devices. That means there's more. So that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? And it just makes you aware that you have to just be aware and focused. So you know what I mean? New highs, breakout on a range. What's most active now? You know what I mean? What's moving in the last? Let's look at relative volume. The last. So QTNT is moving now. I'm not saying it's just part of your process. Get part of your style and part of your process. That's all. That's what I do. Or even you want to go to bar chart. This is what you do. Barchart.com, stocks, percent change. Well, let's go to this even better because I like range better. Hold on. Let's go to this. Let's go back. Bar chart, stocks. Just always go to stocks, range change. All I'm interested in life, range. So NEPT has 20 times its volume, 26 million, more than Microsoft and Apple put together, a 30% range of industry. INDU is also on my other stock, the low float oil, I said. Okay.
Yeah.
The stock's got it's up 60%, has a 28% range on 32 million as opposed to 1130. I'm interested. I'm not interested in that. It's giving me also confirmation for oils. Maybe they don't run Exxon anymore. And they say, okay, let's take some of the dogs of the oils, which is also Husa and ANSV. And what else is XP? Actually, XP is not one. TGA. PAA, by the way, let me go to this. I always say I'm going to leave it at it, but I get excited. PAA is the one to watch. Let me go to share screen. This is the one you can go. PAA, not overbought. Plains All American. Broke out right there. The previous high was 1236.
Nice.
Looking for that.
That is a nice breakout.
Plains Americas. Listen, this one used to be a high flyer. It's shorted. It's got everything you need right now, including fundamentals first and foremost, and volume. But you also like to keep a little short thing in the background just to propel it. So that's what I'm looking at as well. And by the way, huge options going on with it. I just didn't come up with. There's 1,000 oils moving today. I didn't just come up with PAA out of nowhere. It pointed to me to heavy option flow, short and long term. And I brought up the other one yesterday to go to the YouTube channel, AR. Still has a little still has a little bit to go. AR, another oil. So no, I'm not splitting the atom. I'm going with range, option flow, and with the trend.
Okay, here's my maxim to wrap it up. When you're trading, keep an open mind. It'll keep your account open.
There you go. Thanks, Coach, for everything too.
All right, buddy.
Have a good day,
Thank you,
guys.
Mike. Love working
Cheers.
with you, bro.